Rodnicks are humming in the dead of the night. Electric bills climbing, ain't feeling right. Hash rates dropping, profits thin as air. I'm digging for gold, but there's none down there. I got the crypto mining blues, feeling like I just can't choose. But there's a spark in the AI glow. Rent my computer, let the profits grow. Once I was king with my GPUs. Now I'm stuck paying the power dues. Every coin I mine feels heavier than lead, but I hear whispers of a future ahead. I got the crypto mining blues, feeling like I just can't lose. Switch my power to the AI flow, turn this burden into a glow. I see the light, it's flickering on. AI's calling my machines to respond. No more digging in the blockchain dirt. This pivot might just heal the hurt. I got the crypto mining blues, but I'm stepping in brand new shoes. The AI train's on a steady roll, gonna recompute and regain control.
I was digging deep in the digital ground, hoping for treasure, but nothing was found. The rigs were buzzing, the heat was real, electric bills biting like a thief who steals. The crypto mining blues got me feeling low. The profits are gone, where did they go? But there's a light shining through the haze. Renting compute might just save my day. I stacked up GPUs, thought I'd strike it rich, but the market's a beast with a wicked glitch. Hash rates climbing, rewards falling flat. Chasing that coin, I'm chasing a cat. Crypto mining blues got me feeling low. The profits are gone, where did they go? But there's a light shining through the haze. Renting compute might just save my day. AI knocking, it's a brand new game, whispering sweet that it knows my name. Ran out the power, let it learn and dream. A smarter hustle, a brand new scheme. Now my GPUs hum a different tune, training models under the cyber moon. No more digging, no more feudal race, just AI visions lighting up the space. The crypto mining blues got me feeling low. The profits are gone, where did they go? But there's a light shining through the haze. Renting compute might just save my days. Now my GPUs hum a different tune, training models under the cyber moon. No more digging, advanced AI visions lighten up the space. I dug down deep in the digital mines, chasing gold in electric lines. But the shine wore off and the power ran dry. Crypto dreams left me high and dry. So I'm breaking up with a mining game. All that noise just ain't the same. Fell for a mind with a spark so true. I compute now, it's me and you. The rigs were loud, they stole my nights, burning watts for hollow.
You guys can hear me now. So before I start over, anytime you update OBS, it screws with your selections. And I know that, but I forgot because I updated OBS today and I have to switch between selecting the mic and default. No matter which one it's on, it always doesn't. Even though it's selected, even though my default is this microphone, it doesn't use it unless you just switch to that and switch back, or just switch to selecting anyway. So I did remember to unmute. It wasn't that. This was a known issue when you update with OBS. Alrighty, let's start over. Thank you guys all for being here. I do appreciate it. Dan Bulmer I know is here because he's being a chatty Cathy. Son of a Rabbit is first. Dan Bulmer was second. Frogman, The Traveler's Travels, Nah City, good to see you, sir. Haven't seen you in a little while. Caw Valley Crypto, Mine Something. What's up? Let's see who else. Crypto Crag, good to see you. Steven Cicero, Gaming with Smokey Dan. You didn't miss anything, especially because I was muted. Black Hat Team, K-Spec. Nope, you're not going to see any flannel because it's a little warm outside. Just a little. And yes, Mike was muted. Ugh. Yeah, the game is looking at LOL called it. Mike was not. Okay, Mike was not muted. OBS screwed up. That was the thing. I should actually show you exactly what I have to do, because basically you go to the mic/aux and then you have to select the three dots. Then you can select the mic that you're going to use. Well, I was on default. This is my default mic. It always has been. And if I switch to the default from here, it'll still work. Frustrating. Let's see who else. K-Spec, I think I already said you still end up with a muted mic after all these years. Yes. I just need to remember to look at the meter. And if it isn't going up, then I'm muted, even though it wasn't muted. Anybody who knows OBS knows what I'm talking about. Crypto MB, good to see you. Katana, good to see you. No, you're not going deaf. All right, let me go back. I jumped a little bit. Some things will never change. Yes, I guess not. It was human error in the fact that OBS can't fix this problem. Anytime you do an update, you have to go in and reselect the mic, even if it's on default. You got to switch anyway. All right. I know it sounds just nothing more than like excuses, right? Just sounds like excuses. Okay, my bad. I should have looked at the meter and known that it was muted, because as soon as you guys said I was muted, I looked there and I could see that the meter wasn't going up and down. So yes, I will try to remember to check that from now on. No flannel, I'm tuning out. Well, there's flannel on the wall right there. I got some flannel showing, just not wearing it. Wow, you guys are spicy tonight. Oh, you didn't have any. Yeah, it happens to me every single time I upgrade. It might have something to do with my settings. I suppose that's possible on my computer, because like if you look at like Discord, Discord is, I'm always, when I'm in like a chat or something, it always looks like I'm keyed. Always. Must have something to do with the settings. So it might have something to do with that if I have it open. But I don't know. All right. Let's see. Chump Change. Good to see you, sir. Red Panda Mining graced us with his presence. Good to see you, sir. Appreciate you being here. And best of all, Goat is here. Thank you for being here, Goat. Toxic Miner. Yeah, I'm going so slow through this thing. It jumped on me again. Toxic Miner. Let's see. I'm just going to rattle through and see who else might be here that I haven't said. Bits please YT. Well, I guess the stream's over, people. He's here. Yes, you made it early. We're talking about a bunch of things today. This might be a little bit of a long stream. We'll see though. And I don't know if anybody wants to maybe jump in. Chump, Goat. I can always set that up as well. Red Panda, you're not invited. Sorry, I cracked myself up there. And Matt Iota Pie is here. Good to see you. All right. So let's talk about the markets, since everybody seems to be talking about the markets. Yeah, I'm actually shocked. I thought the markets were going to go down. I called that on Goat's stream on Friday night, that I really thought it was going to go down. Let's see where it's at. I mean, we're basically Monday in Asia. So I always consider this Monday because the markets are open over there. So whatever's down we have on Sunday is over, and BTC still holding at 119. So I actually wrote down all my sales. I sold out of BTC. We're talking less than 10% of what I hold in BTC. So we're not talking about a lot. It's not like I'm like, oh yeah, I sold out everything. But I sold out at about 111. Exact 110,960 is what I sold out of BTC. It was like $1,000. And then ETH, I sold out at 27.64. That's now at 29.73. So lost about a 10% gain on that. Now, the other things, I know I sold Solana too. I didn't write down my Solana sale. But Doge, I sold out. I had like $10 worth of it. I sold out of it at 0.179. So that's also higher. ADA, I sold out at 0.7496. It's at 0.7443. So actually still at a higher sale price than what it's currently at. Tau is currently at 394. Wow, that did go back up. 394.6. And I sold out at 393.57. So that's interesting. And when I looked at this earlier, I was still up. It looked like a good sale. And then DOT is slightly lower. I sold out at 4.0222 and it's at 4.014. And that's all of them. Like I said, I don't know if I said Cardano. Cardano, I sold out at 0.7496. It's a bit 0.7442. Just switched. So most of my trades didn't, about a quarter of the, well, little less than half the trades I lost out at about 10%. And then the rest of it is probably is about even. So not a big deal. That ends up being about $200 I lost out on. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then after I sold out of it, I was like, you know what? I'm buying a bunch of stuff to expand. So yeah, I think I'll probably use that to make some payments. So I'll probably transfer that. K-Spec coming in with the super chat, Canadian $10. Appreciate it. Put this towards your next flannel shirt. LOL. Joking aside, just want to show some love and support. I appreciate that very, very much. It's funny because back when the flannel thing became a thing, I was getting a lot of super chats specifically to buy like pink flannel, purple flannel, and my wife was shopping and she would find them, and I still have them. Rondi, I specifically remember, put a bunch of money towards my flannel collection way back when. But anyway, but thank you very much. I appreciate the super chat. I knew I shouldn't have put in that last option. So I did put in a poll saying, what should my next step be? What should be my next step? And I said, upgrade to 10 gig fiber, new server case for 8 more GPUs, expand Octoserver to 8 GPUs, or build a shed already for expansion. I knew that last one, that was just like a throw in, because it's a while before I even think about doing that. That's not the next step, but I was just thought it'd be fun to throw it in there. My next step will most likely be expand the Octoserver to 8 GPUs. I just got to find another 4090 that I feel comfortable with and at a comfortable price. Yeah, I should actually mention, Geek of All Trades coming in with being a member for 36 months, 3 whole years. Code says, you got to do what the poll says. Shed it is, slacker. No, we are not doing a shed yet. Plus, I also need to get, I don't want to say permission because that's the wrong word. We've talked about getting a shed and she's not opposed to it. Are you playing a game while streaming? No, I am not. I'm not laughing. That's LOL is the exact opposite of what you just said, Panda. I want to go back because I know I missed 39 months. 39 months for Integra Guy. Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone had a good Sunday. I really did have a good weekend. I got a bunch done. The one thing I haven't done, I'm going to do that after the stream, is upgrade my infotainment system on my Ford. I haven't done it in a while, so it's a little behind. So I want to do that. I actually, one of the things I did buy for Prime Day, just because they're so handy, is I bought a 10-pack of flash drives, these PNY 32 gig flash drives. Yeah, they're small, but I mean, what do you carry around on flash drives? You don't want to carry anything like really that. I don't carry anything really big on flash drives. So, but I did need one for doing the car because the one I used for the car, I'm using for something else now. So, and then actually I needed one of my flash drives from home for work. I needed to basically download some video from security system and provide it to the police. Anyway, that's a whole nother story that I'm not going to get into tonight. Thankfully that appears to be coming to an end, that whole saga coming to an end, and really for a happy ending. But anyway, but yeah, that's the one thing I didn't get done, but I got a whole bunch of other things done this weekend. I backed up my containers. Actually, I really only have one container running on my Unraid server, and backed up my Vast AI VM using Easy Backup on Unraid. So I did that, which was handy because one of the things I did this weekend was decided to get another 5090, but I had to have a place to put it, of course. So I am going to put it in my Unraid server. But my Unraid server only had 32 gig of RAM, and a lot of that was being used for other things, such as my Nimbus node for one, and obviously for the Vast AI, and I definitely need a lot more memory than that. So decided to just max it out, about 128 gig of DDR4. Also, I only had a 1 terabyte NVMe as a cache drive. So that was not really going to be enough. So I'm going to add a 2 terabyte cache drive to the Unraid server. So I'll have more storage for the 5090. And I felt like and then I also got a new power supply, $150 1200 watt Be Quiet power supply. I debated on whether to get two because it was such a good deal. For 1200 watts for only $150. I haven't seen a power supply that cheap in a long time. And I looked at the reviews. It's a good power supply. So definitely happy with that. So looking forward to getting that running. I'll get the final piece on Wednesday. I get one stick of RAM, one package of RAM. So 2 sticks of RAM on Monday, 2 sticks of RAM on Tuesday. They're coming from 2 different places. The power supply, I believe, is the piece on Wednesday, or maybe it's the NVMe. I don't know. By Wednesday, everything's supposed to be here, and I do have to go pick up the 5090 at Micro Center, and I just have to pick it up before close of business on Tuesday. So my plan is to drive there on the way home from work tomorrow. That's the plan. It's a P&Y. It's $2,500. It was on sale. I haven't seen a 5090 for anything $2,500 or less in like forever. So I felt like it was good, and all my 5090s are now rented. All my 5060s are now 5060 Ti's are now rented. Yeah, it's been a really good week. And this week, the week goes from Friday to Friday. And this week is starting out phenomenal. I'll get to that in just a second. Let me catch up on chat, see what I may have missed. I had to scroll up, so I got to scroll back down to where I left off. Gave me Smoky Dan. Panda may have buffering issues, but at least his mic works. Always. Not wrong. Not wrong. Hey, you know what? It's been a while since I've done that. I mean, that's been a pretty long run since I've done it. I'll have to go back and look at my other live streams to find out how many months it's been since I started a stream muted. It has been quite a while. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm sure somebody will prove me wrong if I'm wrong. Geek of all trades, my eyes hurt. I've been playing Forza Horizon for like 3 hours. That Samsung monitor is the... Yes. All right, let's scrolling down. Trust me, the settings are all saved. So I don't know why it does what it does, but oh, Chump Chain says, when I go on vacation, it happens too. So we're gonna see y'all in August, maybe. Going on vacation that long? I guess it is so like for a couple weeks. Nice. Well, I hope you have a good time with the family. Let's see. Case bag. Hope you and the fam are good over there in the West. Oh, Red Panda. Yep. All right. So I'm just back to the spot where Bits Please YouTube came in. So let me get caught up here. I'm way behind because I went up and started reading things after I'd started reading others. Nope. Shed first. Says Steven Cicero. No, we're not doing the shed first. See, here's the thing. The way I've been expanding is with the income I'm generating. So like I'm generating right now about $3,000 a month. Then you subtract out about $700 in power. So it's about $2,300 a month. I'm buying it slightly ahead of the rate at which I'm actually making money. So there's just not anything in it. I need to have more hardware and income so that when I go to do the shed won't be any more than say 2 months worth of income. So once I get to, and it'll probably more realistically, it'd probably be 3. So most likely it's going to be like next spring would be when I would probably do it. But again, it depends on if this thing keeps going. Yeah. Hey, you want the kiss of death? Have me go build a shed and watch like the whole AI market just crumble. All right, let's see here. Game of Spring. I thought when you showed that you were gonna say something else as you held up that baggie. Oh no. Give me a smoky day and keeping me honest with that word. What am I doing with the 5090? I'm gonna put it on Vast, of course. Been making somewhere around 33 cents an hour on it. Not that much more than a 4090, but the 4090s you have to buy used, which honestly is a bit risky with a lot of the fraud that's going on right now. I've been hearing a lot of people buying graphics cards with no core at all, or with just not working. And unless you're actually going to bring a test bench and be able to power it from your car, which maybe that might be worth buying a small battery pack so that I could do that. Probably might pay for itself, I guess, now that I think about it. I don't know. That's probably what I need to do. I had been buying 4090s in the past and did not get burned on any of them, but that was quite a while ago when I was buying those. Yeah, I'd say the only one, and I'm using it, not that I got burned on it, but that something ended up being wrong with it. So one of the ones I bought from Brandon actually had a leak in the vapor chamber. Again, he tests them, make sure they work. It did work, but when you were pushing it, and that happens after a while, it would heat up and not be able to cool itself, and then it would throttle itself. So he, you know, when I test my GPUs before I sell them, I'm not mining on it for like a half an hour or anything to do that. So I get it. But thankfully, Swamp 7 came to the rescue. I was able to buy a Founders Edition 4090 heatsink. So I was able to fix it. What are your thoughts on the Flux changes? Okay, fine. I wasn't even going to talk about that tonight, but I know it's not popular, but I just think it makes sense. I mean, you have a compute network that is being used. I have a Nimbus node that currently is being used by 4 things. I did actually look at one of the things, and it's a Cora front end is what is being run on my Nimbus node. Because I looked up the GitHub that there was a reference to a GitHub. But basically that Cora front end has no advertising. So I thought it was kind of interesting. But there's that, and folding it home is one of them. Anyway, there's 2 others. I don't remember what they were. But the network is being used. I mean, I was surprised that it's being used by 4 different things. So the idea that you have GPUs that they really want to be available for their compute network are only out there mining only. They're like on Hive or anything else where they're just mining to a pool. And they don't want that, which I can understand. They want those GPUs to be part of Flux Core because they need them for their compute network. They need the resources. So I think it just makes sense, especially when you already have a compute network. We're not talking about, you know, standard like staking nodes. This is actually using the compute. I don't know how they're programming it or whatever, but it'll be done on the node network. I don't know. To me, it just made a lot of sense. Now, as far as the increase in the supply, we all have really short memories. And do you remember about not quite 2.5 years ago when everybody's like, oh man, Flux shouldn't be halving? Okay, maybe they shouldn't have halved, but if they didn't, what's that going to do? It's going to drive up the supply. So you can't have it both ways. You can't be mad that they're halving every 2.5 years, and then when they decide, hey, we're going to change the halving schedule, we're just going to drive up the overall supply, you can't be mad. Now, the only thing I'm thinking of is if you want to be mad or be upset that they're increasing the amount of rewards that are going out per day, and be mad about that part of the supply increase, that's valid. That's valid. That's just adding maybe additional inflation that maybe doesn't need to be there for people that are holders of Flux versus people that are node operators. When I look at it, I'm just thinking they were trying to use easy math, where Cumulus was 1 per block, 3.5, and 9 for Stratus. Like I said, I just think they were trying to use easy math. So, yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I had been wondering for a while, why are they still on mining? It just doesn't make sense. They have a node network that could take care of, I don't know how, because I'm not a programmer, but it just seemed to me like you already have this resource and this is where you want people to put hardware. Why do you still have the blockchain on GPUs? And again, it's not that they're abandoning GPU providers. They are providing them with a different option. Now, of course, that means you can't rely on your X1 PCIe or 1-lane PCIe connectors, because it's just not going to get you the results for renting. Adapt or die is the way I look at it. Yes, you have to make a change. It's really no different than ASIC, where eventually it becomes a doorstop. Everything evolves. And I feel like this is just an evolution that makes sense for Flux. It may not make sense for every chain. I mean, if Caspa was talking about doing it, that doesn't seem to make much sense because it's a blockchain network. That's what it is. It's transactional. Flux is not. I don't know. I think it makes a lot of sense. As far as how they're breaking up the node rewards, I mean, I haven't really analyzed that. It seemed to make sense. I understood their thought process of how they're doing it, but it also will depend on how many, are there going to be a ton more Cumulus nodes again, which will make them not make much at all, because the increase in rewards for Nimbus and Stratus went up a lot, while Cumulus didn't go up very much. So yeah. All right, let me scroll down and see if I'm being tagged. Just remember to put panel on box. Panel on box? I mean, Frogman, I'm not understanding. I think I know what you might be referring to, but I'm not sure what you mean by put panel on box. Please clarify. Let's see. Did I miss anybody else tagging me? Yeah, mine something says I should have bought more 4090s when they got down to 1200. I bought 3 at 1300, and I feel fortunate. And those are the ones I bought from Brandon. But most of the ones I bought new. So yeah, I mean, I actually feel fortunate, and honestly, I had been looking for something other than mining. It's like, there's got to be like a compute network or something. And then obviously when King started doing his content, I'm like, I just jumped on that bandwagon. And I remember when I did it, he was like, whoa, wait a minute. Are you sure you want to do this? Because I bought every single one of those, not every, almost all of my 4090s, except for the ones I got from Brandon. But most of my 4090s were all bought on either 2-year or 1-year free financing. I still have 4 more that are out there. I can pay them off, but why? It's free money. Why would I want to pay them off early when it's going to cost me the same amount if I just wait? So I'm going to wait to pay them off, but I have 4 more. And then I also have 2 5060 Ti's that do need to get paid off. But all my 5090s, I've just been buying. I haven't been buying on financing at all. But I remember when I did that, he thought I was nuts because he thought it was too big of a risk. And honestly, I didn't see the risk. I mean, yes, there's always a risk, but I didn't see the risk because I saw the potential. And what's the worst that can happen? You buy it and then they hold their value. So then you just sell it and you're kind of no worse off. That's the way I looked at it. So even if you had to sell it for a little bit less, your risk of losing money, I felt, was minimal because you were going to make something, and that something would have covered whatever that loss was. So that's the way I looked at it, and I'm glad I have continued to do this because, and it's now been over a year and a half. I started at the end of 2023, like right as Mining King was putting out content about it, which I'm pretty sure was the end of 2023. Yeah, because I know, because Vast AI has some payouts from my hardware from 2023. But yeah, this past week, I was most I had made, it was like 700 and what was it? Give me a second. It was 760 something, if I remember correctly. 769, nice. Which was about almost $3 higher than, well, how many weeks ago was that? 1, 2, 3, 4. It was 5 weeks prior. I was at 766. But what I find really interesting is we're in the summer, and being in the summer, and I remember last year, the summer was dead. It was absolutely dead. And it's not this summer. It's been really good. Just going back to check. Bummer. I had 6 out of my 6 on the Octoserver rented. Now it's back down to 4. So those last 2 are single GPU instances, and they kind of come and go, which is kind of a bummer. That's why I want to expand it out to 8, because I know if I get it to 8, I'll get an 8 GPU job on it and it'll just run, because that's what's happening with the 4 and the 8. But all of my 5060 Ti's are now rented, which I'm loving that. Really liking that. And my last, here, I'll just switch over. Let's see, right there. Yeah. So yeah, you can see that. My last rig has finally been verified. Yes. And it was rented for a little while once it got verified. But it's been unrented for about a day now. But yeah, the 5090s are rented. Which I'm sure people are like, why are you renting them for so little? I don't know. I'm pretty happy with the return I'm getting. I probably could get more, but I like to stay rented. The 3060 is actually, if you look at, does it even say it on here? No, I guess on this view it doesn't show. But I have this one like expiring on Wednesday night. Because that's when I'm going to make all the changes. So because this one is such a short-term rental, most likely I'm not going to get anybody to rent it. This one's only being rented for 4 cents because this one I actually need to take out and fix because it only has one fan spinning. So I have to bring this 3060 down to 120 watts. I can't run it at more than 120 watts. So, but people have been renting it quite a bit, even at the 120 watts. So, alrighty. So yeah, that's been doing well. Now, Salad, on the other hand, is a little frustrating. Not even a little. It's a lot frustrating. They have a problem with 1.8.3, which is their latest release. And as you can see, the one is doing great, consistent. This one, what's going on with it? It's a 3060, right? Yeah, well, it's stuck. It keeps getting stuck downloading a job. Most of the time it gets stuck around 10. This is the first time it was stuck around 1600, but it's still stuck. And there are a lot of people talking about this problem. So I don't know what's going on. This rig has 32 gig, which they say is fine, but my other one's a 64 gig memory machine or RAM, DDR4 RAM machine. So I'm wondering if that might have something to do with it. Maybe this is only affecting 32 gig machines. I don't know. But all I can tell you is it's really annoying. Really annoying. It might as well not even be running it. I have pinged Jared. I haven't gotten a response. I have gone into chat. I think basically anybody that they're basically have told you reinstall Salad. I basically tell you to do all these things and none of them work, including reinstalling Windows. Doesn't work. So that's why I'm thinking it might have something to do with the specific configuration, where it's like the 32 gig machines that are running into this problem. So probably what I will do is when I pull the RAM out of the Unraid server, I will put some additional RAM in this machine and see what happens. That's probably what I'll do. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, I don't know. Steven Cicero, my 3060 has been rented for a few weeks on Salad. Yeah, my other one has been too. Are you still on 1.8.2 or did you or have you switched to 1.8.3? Because basically both of mine like fell off. And then I'm like, okay, that probably fell off because I didn't update. So then I just decided to update. So, so Steven Cicero, are you on 1.8.2 or 1.8.3? Be really curious. Alrighty. Let's see. Dan Ballmer, my 3060 and 3070 Ti machines aren't doing anything on Salad, unfortunately. At least I got one doing something, which, you know, is good. 0.076 per hour? That's impressive. That's very impressive. Most I've seen is 0.0557. But yeah, 0.076. Hopefully you're able to keep that for a long time, Mike. Let's see here. Oh, Retro Mike, don't feel bad, Dan. I did a combined 13 cents yesterday with 5 3060 Ti's and a 3080 on Octa. Wow. You know, we all have good days and bad days with this. A Fred says, I have a 3060 on Salad, has been running for 20 days straight, 1.8.2. Shouldn't have upgraded. Of course, I can't go back because I can't find the 1.8.2. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I could. Huh. Hang on. Now that I think about it, go into my downloads. It's right there. Hey, let's do this live. First off, let's remove, well, first of all, let's pause it. Pause indefinitely. And then kill it. If it lets me. Kill that. Kill that. Alright. Now I believe it's mostly killed. So then let's do a remove. So we're going to remove. Come on. Remove Salad. Uninstall. Yep. Yes. Let's do it live. Do it live. So we're doing it live. And of course it's going to then ask me a poll, which I'm going to be like reinstalling troubleshooting. 1.8.3 has issues. All right, get rid of that. Finish. And then now let's install 1.8.2. Over here. I know, probably should restart, but I'm not gonna. There we go. Well, let's see if that solves it. Or if I can even get a job with 1.8.2. I'm not sure I'll be able to, but we'll see. It's probably going to immediately tell me I need to upgrade, but maybe if I ignore it, I'll still get a job. A gerb. Run salad. And then we'll have to check it before we finish. Oh. You are on 1.8.3. Go figure. All right, let me log in. The wife is calling. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, I'm back. Just had to make sure that that there was nothing wrong. She was just telling me she was cat sitting for our daughter's cat in the city, and so she's on her way back. All right. Okay. Why does this not appear to be doing anything? Okay, yeah, I know that. Okay. All right, yeah, I guess I got to reset up this. Yep, want to configure, do not want video streaming. Continue, skip, finish setup. Yeah, you say you need an update, but you're not getting one. We're gonna see. And I don't want to learn more, but I do want you to go away. All right, 5 of 6. And then I need to do setup so that it doesn't go into a mining job. Go down here to... Oh, that's weird. That's different. I didn't remember it saying that before, but hey, workload preferences, advanced options. Oh, okay, that's where it is. Disabled. And I do not want to auto stop. And now we should be good. Now let me, who knows? Maybe I'll get a job. We shall see. Shop now. And we'll go from there. We'll see what happens. Get out of that, get out of that. Put this back up here and see what happens. Alrighty. Sorry. Back to regular scheduled program. Cat sitting. Isn't that uncomfortable to sit that way? Anyway, my daughter has a unique cat. It's an older cat that was not treated well at all. She adopted it, an older cat. I think it was 11. I think is when she adopted it, something like that. So, and it has health problems. So, and it doesn't like to get treatments. So, yeah. And it pouts when you make it take treatments. So, all right. Husband mode activated. Yeah, exactly. Again, it was just one of those things where, is she calling me just because she's on her way home and she forgot I was streaming? But if she didn't, I'd feel really bad if I didn't answer the phone. Anyway, such is life. Bits please YouTube. Make sure you have the latest drivers and reboot after updating them. Yeah, I did definitely do that. On my unit, I did everything it says to do when an error comes up, and none of it worked. So again, we'll see. We'll go back to 1.8.2 and see what happens. Maybe it'll try to download a job, and lo and behold, it'll be working on this one. But we'll see. All right. So where was I? We're talking about the vast income, and then I transitioned into Salad. So you know, like I said, I had conversations with Jared, and he did say that they are, I don't know if he was saying they were in development, but that they took seriously that they need to get a Linux version out. Because this Windows thing is just not overly reliable. It's super easy to deploy, which is great. That's definitely the pro, but it's not passive. I mean, the stuff for Vast, if you have good prices set, you just set it and forget. You don't even touch it. It's strictly passive. Now, do I treat it as passive because I'm constantly looking at it? No, of course not. I'm looking at it all the time. I'm looking at what my temps are. I'm looking at how many power it's pulling, and which ones are rented. But yeah, today actually was a record for me. Let me go back to that and go to earnings. Oh, that was what I wanted. I wanted this. Last 7 days. Okay, that's for today. But $124.97, almost $125 in a single day with what I have. Obviously, that's on the high side of what I'm going to make right now. But that's by far the best day I've had. I have not made over 120 before. I haven't even made over, I think I might have had one day of 117 before. But that was a really, really good day. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping maybe this week will be my first week over 800, even though I've only had 3 weeks total over 700. But hopefully putting in the 5090 will help drive that as well by getting another one that's making considerably more than what my 3060 is making. So anyway, just normal Steven Cicero, need to be able to do multiple cards. You're absolutely right, which is why I'm looking into a server case and trying to expand out my trying to expand out the Octoserver to 8. But yeah, the sweet spot for most platforms from what I hear is 8, even though it really should be 4. But I've heard, like, as you get into the higher ones, I was talking on MindSomething's stream today, and I think it was on that one where they were saying when you get into the higher end cards, 2 or 4 actually does better. So I'm kind of curious to see, like, maybe if you were doing an RTX Pro 6000 rig, maybe 4 would be the sweet spot. I don't know. Game of Smoky Dan. Shed first. I don't need shed first. Actually the heat shedding is actually doing really well downstairs, and I have some ideas on how I can even make it better. So I don't need to. Steven Cicero. Oh, yeah, I will tell you that sounds like it is a ways down the road. Like, that's not, I think that's a more difficult thing for them to do, I think. But you're right. And we had a conversation about that as well, where he's like, yeah, we need to be able to lessen the cost of deployment per GPU. So they understand the reasons why. We didn't talk about the power cost, but obviously that's another one. You're only powering 1, maybe 2 CPUs for your multiple GPUs. That's gonna be less power of the infrastructure of the machine per GPU. If you're able to deploy like 8 GPUs on one. So, IotaPie, is the server case really worth it over open air? Yes. Yes, it is. It's just a lot simpler to deploy, and the cost of those risers and stuff is crazy. I spent as much on the risers for that 8 GPU rig as I did for the motherboard and CPU and RAM. I spent more on those risers than the motherboard, CPU, and RAM, and it was an epic. So yeah, I have not been able to find a good, cheap source for those. Oh, IotaPie, you're here. So that motherboard, I'm guessing that the spacing between the PCIe slots was 3. So it can accept a 3 slot, but no more than a 3 slot. So a lot of the 4090s and 5090s wouldn't fit because they're like 3.5 slots. Gaming with Smoky Dan says, is not what the poll said. Them be the rules, like Goat said. I get it. You know me. That last line was a joke, man. Glad you guys, I better just stop the poll. See, now there's not a majority, so sorry. Can't do it. I set it up, it has to be at least a majority for me to do any of these things. So there you go. Sorry, I can't do any of them. So yeah, the upgrade to 10 gig fiber is tempting, but I really need to look at like how much more income could I make on each of my rigs if I had better internet. That's the thing that's hard to really quantify. It's not impossible, but it is difficult. Because you don't know when people are setting their prices. They may be available right now, but maybe they were rented, for 6 months prior to, the 2 hours after that job fell off that you're now seeing it. And you're like, oh, well, that one doesn't have a job, but maybe it does most of the time. So that's, it's a little bit difficult because when you're looking at things, you're looking at a snapshot in time. So it makes it a little bit difficult, but the cost of doing 10 gig fiber, $1,500 for the install, which, as people have said, is not ridiculous by any means. And then $300 a month, actually $315, because you still got to rent out the gateway. So $315 a month, which again, for 10 gig isn't horrible. But when you're talking about the fact that I'm making like, $3,000 a month, and all of a sudden I'm going to go from $100 internet to $300 internet, that $200 going to really give me anything? Is it going to gain anything? And that's what I need to do. But I am thinking about it. Because Metronet, I think, is going to be a while before it gets here, unfortunately. So do I wait and hope that it gets here sooner rather than later, or do I just bite the bullet and have the Comcast lay the fiber? Yep, I put it on there because I am thinking about that, but I got to do some more analysis to really decide whether or not I'm going to do it or not. Let's see. Mind Something says clients only see your network speed, not how clogged it is. True. They see what your ideal network speed is when they test it. So, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Just IotaPie finding server case. Oi. Crypto Craig says, yeah, there are some pretty good options if you want to build it yourself, but the Octoserver is nice. Other options are money. Yeah, it's easy to find the ones that cost a lot. Really easy to find those. Finding the ones that might cost less. I think I found an option, but they didn't have any pricing on their website, so I'm inquiring. But I think this one will serve pretty well, so we'll see. My current internet speed, MH, is 2.1 down and about 350 up. In fact, let me run it. I haven't run the test in a while. but let's see what it was the last time I ran it. It's probably somewhat less because there is somebody on here that is probably doing like Salad or some type of bandwidth sharing that is slowing down everybody connected to the same node, unfortunately. Let's see, go to dashboard. Yeah, it actually said 2.1 down and 337 up. Technically, it's 300 up. Let's see. Do I need to refresh it? Yep, I need to refresh it. I don't know why it does this sometimes. You have to refresh, give it a fresh, and then you hit run speed test, and then it'll run it. Or not. Interesting. I know I have speed, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything. I know if I run it from my computer, that's not going to give me the correct number. All right. Not going to worry about it. I'm not sure why it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. But it's not. Let me do a refresh. Let me see if it actually completed the test in the background. Yep, it did not. So I do not know why it's not running speed test from the router. Try one more time. I'll let it do its thing. Not sure why it's doing that, but all right, I'm gonna end the poll. So I appreciate everybody that participated. 53 votes. I don't think there were ever 53. There were never 53 people here. So I guess people came and went, which is just fine. The link I sent shows an NVMe stick in between. Yeah, no, I saw that. I looked it up, so I've got a picture of it. And so an NVMe slot, I'm thinking that's like 2 slots, I think. I mean, 3 slots, because you would normally have, maybe it is only 2. It looks like 3 to me. I don't know. But yeah, that would be the thing, is you would still have to have, if you wanted to put 4 on there, you would either have to have all 5090 Founders Editions or all RTX Pro 6000s, which would actually be kind of cool in that motherboard. That would be pretty cool. But right now, RTX Pro 6000s on something like Vast have not really taken off yet. So I'm a little unsure of how that. Now, if you're on a private platform or something like that, there's probably more demand for things like that, but not on Vast at this point. If Salad doesn't stop supporting Windows 10, go with that over 11 so you can see your network traffic specific for Salad. Yeah, so right now I am on Windows 10. In fact, I should have just gone back to the big screen, but as long as we're here, let's see. Still looking for a job, a gerb. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. All right, let me go back to the headshot. All right. So yeah, so the other thing I'm looking to do is right now that 3090 rig, which was the one that was unrented but was just verified in the last day or two. I'm going to double that one up. I'm actually have a 3090 sitting behind me, and I am getting or 2 ribbon cables. I have 1 ribbon cable. I'm getting a second ribbon cable that actually has a mount to it. It has like a magnetic mount on the bottom of it. And need to talk to Sunflower Mama since she's the handier one in the family. But basically cut a portion of the side panel of the computer case, the T7810 computer case, so it has something to sit on. So basically it'll be sitting on the side panel, and then you run the cable down and into the PCIe slot. The other side is really easy because it just sits on top of the power supply and just runs directly straight down to the PCIe slot. But both of them in this case, because you need a 2-slot card to run another one from it. So like 5060 Ti's or 3060s, no problem. You just have one in slot and then one running from the ribbon cable. So it works. But yeah. So I'll be doing that. That is coming, I think, on Friday. So I'm hoping that we can do that this weekend. Let's see. I talked about that. Oh, I finally updated my Titan wallet today. So actually it was yesterday. And so I was finally able to get the remainder off of my original Titan wallet. So for those that weren't around for that, I tried recovering my Titan wallet to my X card, the new X card from EliPal, and unfortunately I couldn't. So I thought something was wrong with the X card, and I tried to well, what happens if I use this same seed phrase and just try to create a new wallet within the Titan? And it actually said, yep, you already have this seed phrase on this. Do you want to overwrite? I'm like, no, I don't want to overwrite it, because I'm like, okay, then why isn't it working? Well, finally they told me, they're like, you must have had a passphrase on it. And so bottom line is, you want to check your backups, including your seed phrases. Make sure that you can recover your wallets, test them. So anyway, so that's the reason why I was getting everything off of that and onto a second wallet on the same Titan. And that seed phrase is the same as my EliPal X card. So now I've got 2 different ways of validating transactions for that wallet. So that's a cool feature, I thought. So you just basically go in there and say which hardware wallet are you using. And then the other thing I did was, and this I did this morning, I updated my metal seed phrase thing to the new seed phrase that doesn't have a passphrase. So anyway, yeah, for whatever reason, it won't let me test speed from my Dream Machine. Not really sure why. It's just coming back as 0, which is really odd, because we know I have speed because I'm talking to you guys and you guys are replying. So let's see. Are you running the 3090s at 4x8? No. The 30, well, yes. One of them is running at, no, actually, I take that back. The 3090 behind me is running at 3x8. PCIe 3 and 8 lanes, and that thing is rented all the time. It's been on the same job forever. For a really long time. I shouldn't say forever, but for a really, really long time. I've just kind of almost just taken it for granted that it's always running. The other one is running at PCIe 3.16, since the T7810s are PCIe 3. So that'll be both of them running at PCIe 3.016. If you throw the X card, does it become S-Cargo? Asking for a friend. Bug in the room. I feel like I'm at work. Anyway. It's attracted to the light. Don't go into the light. Yeah, if he lands on the light, he's a dead man. Or dead bug, anyway. Let's see. What else was I going to talk about tonight? Talked about that. Oh, I actually, I'm going to be distracted by that thing. Actually updated Windows today as well, not just OBS. But I know that it was due to OBS, why the mic was the issue. But anyway, I updated both of those today. I also, the NAS expansion, the backup NAS expansion. So I actually did order another 5 terabyte hard drive for that. And then I will also be putting in an NVMe cache drive in there, in one of the PCIe slots. So I'll be looking forward to making that change, because right now I am really tight on space, and if I go out to another 5 terabytes, it should be good for a while. Got a couple more things. Community solar update. I'm signed up, but I don't know when I'm going to start, actually earning credits. So waiting to find out about that. I log in like at least a couple times a week, just looking to see if anything changed, but so far nothing changed on that. Yeah, I think that's about it. I actually used, on my teleprompter, and in one of the scenes that I put up on the teleprompter, I actually put all my notes there today. So it's convenient. I don't have to go looking for a piece of paper or anything. It's nice having just directly in front of me. Goat says, moving drives into a NAS, 4x terabyte drives, 2 are 4,000 hours on time, 2 times are half that. Should I set up 2 RAID 1 or 1 RAID 5 based on current usage cycles? Red Panda Mining storage for the win. I don't know. I would just set it up as 1 RAID 5. I know. So what I have on my Unraid server, now I haven't set it up in RAID per se, but I do have 2 parity drives and 4 regular drives. Unraid is actually, hence its name, is not RAID. You can do RAID on it now, because you can have ZFS pools or BTRFS pools as well, ButterFS. But I'm just using XFS because I can expand using whatever drive, and I'm willing to take the hit on performance. Especially considering that this is a remote NAS, so performance remote, not really going to affect performance all that much. I wouldn't think. The critical path is going to be the internet speed, not the system or the drive speed. Iota Pi says ZFS with mirrored VDEVs for the win. Yeah, but then everything's got to be the same size drive, and I couldn't do that on my backup. I could have done that on my initial Unraid setup, but the initial version, the beta version of Unraid that I was on, it had support for ZFS, but not great. Now it's like no problem. So they have now incorporated that feature fully. So in fact, they seem to be really that's where a lot of their effort is going into ZFS pools. Yeah. Butterface. ButterFS. BTRFS. I don't name them. I've just heard people call it ButterFS. All right. Oh, and then let me pull up the markets. Let's see here. Let's see where we are at. Coin market cap. And let me switch over to the shared screen. Bitcoin still at 119, holding fast. Ethereum not back up over 3,000 though, but 29.79 still looking pretty good. You got here. I'm just gonna I am logged in. All right, watch list. Damn bug. Doge almost at 20 cents. Almost at 20 cents. Cardano back up to 75 cents. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. I mean, obviously the 7-day looks great. Avalanche at 21.45. Litecoin at 95.1. Yeah, I'm still looking pretty good on Litecoin since I sold it at 97.9. Polkadot at 4.04. So, I mean, everything's holding fast pretty much. You know, nothing really to complain about. I'm really curious to see what happens with the overall markets. Because I know the markets took a hit on Friday, but then there was additional tariff news that came out. And there's two different types of tariff news. There's an agreement and there's threats. What the hell just happened? I was logged in. Why did you do that? That's annoying. It had my watch list and then all of a sudden just did that. You guys saw that. Why did it do that? I'll just go back to the regular list. Yeah, it logged me out. That's so weird. So weird. So yeah, two different types of tariff news. There's the agreement side, which is the markets like it when they have, again, it's about the known, not the unknown. So anytime Trump threatens with additional tariffs, that's the unknown. The markets hate that. And usually when that happens, that's bad for all markets, stock market, crypto market. In this particular case, it didn't affect the crypto markets as much. It did slow them down a bit. It did take a little bit of a dip. Not as much, not anywhere near as much of a dip as I thought. I thought I was going to take a dip of about 10% and then I'd be able to buy back in. As I've done that a number of times when these types of things come up. And this one, I actually was kind of ahead of it because I saw like the markets were like all getting all-time highs. They had been at multiple all-time highs. Bitcoin's getting to an all-time high or getting near the all-time high when I sold out. And so I just felt that there's something else. There's going to be a shoe that drops. And there was, but didn't have the effect that I thought it would. So we'll see. We'll see if there's any additional shoes that may drop, you know, next week or during this week, I should say. Oh, the other big thing that's coming up. So GDP is like, I think they said July 29th. So it's quite a bit away. But if you recall, first quarter was a down quarter. It was minus 0.5%. Nothing earth shattering or anything, but it was still a contracting quarter, not an expanding quarter. So it'll be interesting to see if second quarter, if there's growth or not. So we'll see. We shall see. All right. Any questions? I've been going for about an hour and 13 minutes. This damn bug. I will be so happy when I kill this bug. It's bugging me. No pun intended. All right. Let's see. Salad job yet? I don't know. Let's see. Nope. Not a salad job yet. Yeah, I'll give it a couple hours. Well, yeah, you got to give it a couple hours. If it says it's running a job, it takes a little while for it to get the right estimate. But yeah, a lot of times what I'll do, and I'm going to do that here because it did work for me once before. And I know that this is one of the things that Red Fox says to do. But I've also heard don't do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because then at least it creates the vmem file. But I hadn't seen the vmem file at all. So I want to make sure that that does show up. Right now it is restarting Salad. Let's see if vmem Salad bowl service is there. Is vmem gonna start? Because if it doesn't, yep, there it is. All right, so it will start when there's something going on. Whenever you kill that salad bowl service, it will start a vmem file. It honestly doesn't really mean anything. And if it does get a job as a result of this, it's really coincidence. I just wanted to make sure that it was going to get a vmem file, because when I started this, I don't think it ever started a vmem file. So now that it has done that, I think we're good. So yeah, like I said, what I will end up doing is probably put some additional RAM in it if this doesn't get a job at all. I'll probably go back up to 1.8.3, and then when the memory comes in and I change that out, I will put the additional memory, or some of the additional memory, in here. Sorry, I was just looking because it had a power usage of really high on the vmem, and I thought, well, maybe it is actually grabbing a job. But no, now the memory's going down, or it went down just for a little bit. So yeah, now it went back up again. Yeah, but nothing yet. Nothing yet. I'll leave it up. We can take a look. Oh, where's the vmem file? So you want to sort from your memory. So make sure you click so that this arrow right here is down, and that you have this column selected for memory. Now, if you don't see this file, because it isn't always there, if you want to make sure it works, and just basically go to your salad bowl service and click end task. And then it'll automatically restart and your vmem file should start. But like I said, the vmem file, just because it's not there, doesn't mean that once the job's getting downloaded that it won't show up. It will automatically restart itself when you are downloading a job. But yeah, it does not appear. Not yet. Just out of curiosity, I think if I scroll up, oh, it's not even gonna let me scroll up. So somehow it's not telling me I need to update anymore, which is interesting. Very interesting. No problem, Rizzo. By the way, welcome. Good to see you, sir. Mike Hill says, my salad machine is on a 4 megahertz speed CPU, and this single does get jobs fast and good. Are you talking about like CPU jobs specifically? And are you talking about mining jobs? Because I've got mining turned off on mine. I don't want to be pulling that much power. If the GPU jobs that aren't mining, they don't pull much power at all. And so your bang for the buck is much higher when you're not doing mining jobs. No mining. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it where I've had a CPU job. Well, I shouldn't say that. That's probably the really low job that you get. That's probably that one. I guess I didn't even actually look to see like what the CPU usage is on those, but I don't think it really uses that much. I don't know. Not sure. Alrighty, guys, I have been going for almost an hour and 20 minutes. A couple more minutes and then I will call it a night. Any more questions? Just looking to see if there's anything else that I had that I wanted to cover that I did not cover. Oh, I guess one other thing. So I had to research a couple of things. One is I'm trying to get a hold of Veteran Miner. Haven't been able to get a hold of him. I hope he's okay. But I'm trying to get him to make the PCIe cables to EPS cables that I need for the Octoserver. So I just tried getting him on X today. I hadn't gotten any responses from him in Discord, so maybe he's on vacation or something. But yeah, I'm trying to get a hold of him for the cables. But if I can't, then I'll end up having to make my own cables. And so I researched how to do that. Actually, easier than I thought. I'd rather not do it, honestly, but because then I got to buy a whole bunch of small tools in order to be able to do it. Side cutters, crimpers, wire strippers, all those kinds of things. I'm not going to try to do these things without the proper tools. So yeah. And then the other thing I had to figure out, and this was on the Unraid server, which was right now I have my Unraid Vast AI VM on the cache drive. Well, I want to change that to the other cache drive because I want to give it more space. So in doing so, I had to figure out how do I move it from the cache drive to the array and then put it back to the cache drive of where I want it. So I figured out how to move it to the array. And I haven't moved it to the array yet because I need the performance of it being on the cache drive, the NVMe drive, for that. But yeah, I will. Now that I know that, so I've researched that. Seemed pretty simple. There's just like a setting, and then you have to manually say move. So it's not really that hard. Like I said, nothing's hard once you know what to do. Let's see. I think that was the only other thing that. Yeah. I cleaned up my desk a bit as well. It was very cluttered. It's still somewhat cluttered, but nowhere near as cluttered as it was. So yeah. Alrighty. I do not see any additional tags. Let me just check the chat real quick. Dan Mulmer, good luck with figuring out the solar panel. Isn't it going to be kind of hard if you're in the dark? Oh, I guess you're 722 where you are, so maybe it's still light. Rizzo says, I have a Xeon 2650 V4. And Salad will run jobs on it every once in a while. LOL, like a fraction of a penny per hour. Yeah, those jobs kind of suck. Not wire strippers. Wire strippers. Not that kind of stripper. Mike Hill got 17 cards on Vest. Nice. Nice. How many are rented right now, Mike? If you don't mind me asking. So I'm at like, what was I? I was, let's see. It's easier for me to count how I have 28 GPUs on it. So, oh, cool. I think, hang on, let me double check that. It looks like my other two are rented again. Sweet. Those other two singles are now rented again. Like that a lot. So right now I have this one, which is really basically offline. It's just too short of a time period where anybody's going to want to pick it up, and that's fine. I actually had it offline for a while, and then I'm like, nah, I probably should just leave it on. I want to make sure that I don't lose verification because of something silly like not being online. I don't think it would happen, but and then this one down here. So really this one down here is the only thing I really don't have rented right now. So doing very, very well. I love the fact that I have all my 5060 Ti's rented. Yeah, that's nice. I mean, that's like just short of 20 cents. So if you look at it and you think, okay, well, how much are two 5060 Ti's and how much power do they pull? Two 5060 Ti's are less than $500 a piece. So you're $1,000 or so, which is about the price of a 3090 or what you could buy a used 3090 for. But a 3090, if you're lucky, you're going to make 15, 16 cents at the most. I'm making about 14. And you're talking about using this slightly less with, I think it's 170 watts, or maybe it's 175. Either way, it's 6 to 1 half dozen the other. You're basically talking about two 5060 Ti's is the same power as a 3090. To me, it seems like a good trade. Now, obviously, you know, that's a single 3090 versus two 5060 Ti's. So yeah, I'm going to try to do two 3090s on one rig and see how that works. But yeah, I'm happy with those results. It seems like a good trade, a good trade-off. So we'll see. I don't know. I may end up selling off all my 3090s. And then running the 3090 that's down there, I may turn that into two 5060 Ti's once I sell the 3090. And then the one I have running Salad, I might change over to two 5060 Ti's as well. I don't know. We'll see. If it continues like this, I might make that change. It seems like 50 series is starting to, I don't want to say get popular, but more in demand than the supply is. So definitely happy about that. All right, let's see. All right, let me have a great night, Crypto Crag. Should have bought stocks instead. I'd be retired. Yeah, not wrong, I suppose. Mike Hill, 6 are rented. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're, I don't know what you have, but yeah, it's always a trade-off, you know. Oh yeah, I get it rented for this and I'll make a lot of money, but is it rented, or what percentage of time is it rented? If it's not rented, but when it is rented, it's rented for a lot, you're still probably better off putting the price lower and getting it rented. Now, Swamp 7 has said he believes that Vast pushes higher priced cards because they make more money on those. I mean, because it's the same percentage, but you know, if they're renting out something for say 50 cents versus 40 cents, well, 25% of 50 cents is going to be more than 25% of 40 cents. So it's just simple math. Rizzo says, I need to get a crimping tool and some Cat 6 to run to my tiny mining shed. I'm on a 5 gigahertz wireless bridge. Speed sucks. Yeah, wouldn't be a bad thing. I know that those cables aren't that hard to make as well. Bits please Y2 YouTube says, my money was spent because I accidentally married one. Obviously not married now. Wow. Alrighty. That'll do it. Mike Hill, I'm retired and used to stay overnight in Chicago for scrap iron hauling. Interesting. To and from Michigan, Steel City truck stop, many loads and years working. Great to hear you. I appreciate it, Mike. So where are you at now? You're in, you're living in Michigan, I'm guessing. 100% rented. Got it. Nice. Very nice. What kind of cards do you have? You know, just 30 series, 40 series. What do you mainly have? I just extended my credit amount at Best Buy. Maybe I should buy some equipment. You know, it's funny. Well, not so funny, but so I have a $10,000 limit at Best Buy. I would like to have more, and I've asked for more, and they won't give it to me. My credit's good. I mean, my credit goes between like 760 and 720. When I bought a bunch of things, it goes down because I'm using more of my credit, and then the next month it goes right back up because I pay all of it off. But yeah, it doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with my credit. Even told them, yes, I make more now. They won't give me any more for whatever reason. So I've stopped asking. So good for you, Bacon, Eggs, and Hash. They only want you till the money runs out. I was in your shoes as well, not married anymore. You got to choose wisely, people. I chose wisely. Sunflower Mama is an amazing partner in life. Amazing partner in life. She could complain about a lot of things, but she helps find solutions. Think of it this way. Well, not even think about it this way, but I mean, we were having issues with the heat from the basement. Well, actually, it wasn't even the heat from the basement coming up. It was the fans pulling too much air, and it was pulling air from upstairs, which was sucking in hot air from the outside. And it got to like 83 degrees in the house, and it was just bad. It was barely sleepable. So we ended up getting a portable air conditioner for the bedroom, and it's been working great. But she, handled all that. I had a source for one, but it was like 2 hours away. But then when she was at a friend's house and they had one, so they just let her have it. They're probably going to want it back because I don't think they gave it to us. But I'll still end up probably getting the one that's 2 hours away. But anyway, she was a trooper through all that. She also went downstairs and, because I told her what the issues were, she's like, okay. So she actually got plastic like sheathing so that it would like the air, so that it was like a separate layer blocking the airflow from the one side of the basement to the other. So she blocked that. Plus we now have a sheet at the top of the stairs, which again blocks the air from upstairs to downstairs. And now we're back to having a 15-degree difference between the upstairs and downstairs, no matter how hard the fans are running in the basement. So yeah, it's worked out really well. But yeah, she came up with, implementing all the solutions. I mean, we talked about it. She's like, what about this? And I came up with the sheet upstairs, at the top of the stairs. Actually, I was saying to do it like halfway down the stairs. And she's like, it'd probably just be easier to do it at the top. And I'm like, yeah, it definitely would be. So she is a great partner in life. And instead of complaining about things, she helps find solutions, because she knows it's important to me. So, and as she puts it, she's like, hey, on the scale of midlife crisis hobbies, this one at least makes the family money. So yeah. So she sees the pros. She definitely sees the pros. And she sees that it makes me happy and I enjoy it. So yeah. All right. Let me check to see. Let's see. Okay. Rizzo said, I'm one and done. It's been almost 12 years and haven't made that mistake again, but good for you. I appreciate that. I never understood how I could make $8,000 a week on tour for 12 months per tour, and come home broke until we split. Then suddenly I had crazy money in the bank. Yeah. Damn it, Dave says orange, white, orange, green, white, blue, blue, white, green, brown, white, brown. I am guessing that you are talking about a wiring spec for Cat 6, I'm guessing. Finding a teammate like that is rare. Good job, Max. Yeah, I dated a lot in high school, and I learned what I didn't want. Definitely learned what I didn't want. So yeah. Frogman, man, screw this. Cost more than it's worth to send this dinky miner back to Gold Shell for warranty. Oh well. Yeah, RJ45. Yeah, I figured it was RJ45. So, and this is actually good timing because I'm pretty sure I just heard the wife pull up. So I'm going to let you go since I haven't seen her in a few days. And appreciate you guys all being here. Yep, just got the notification she arrived at home. So I appreciate you guys all being here. And as always, no tabs were harmed in the making of this live stream. Have a good one, everybody.